Hey everyone, it's Andrew Bryanton here, and I'm from Prince Edward Island, Canada, and today I'm going to give a review on VIPKID. So we're going to go into what is it, hours of work, being male, pay, and standing out. So first I'm going to go into what is VIPKID. VIPKID is a Canadian or offers for Canadians and Americans a platform to teach Chinese students for 25-minute classes. You don't need a teaching degree, but you do need some sort of a degree. So for example, I don't have a teaching degree, I have a business degree. You also need some sort of experience with kids. So that could be, for me, it's a youth group at a church. Could be, you taught scouts, or lots of different things that would be considered experience with kids. The Chinese government has recently introduced a law that teachers online, they need some sort of teaching certification. So what VIPKID has given teachers is a free course. Takes roughly 10 hours to get through it. It's an ESL, English as a second language course, and like I said, it is free. You need to pass the test, and that's sort of your certification. They also offer what's an advanced version of this as well, and it's great because for me especially, that has no teaching experience, at least not in a school type setting. It gave me sort of a little bit of background and strategies and stuff like that. They also offer, once you get on the platform and you get started, they offer unbelievable workshops. Very good. They're taught by teachers. They are exceptional. So me without teaching experience, I'm soaking up all these workshops they have, and they're hour long, and they have them, I bet you they probably have during the week about 15 to 20 per day on every topic that you can think of that can help to make you a better teacher. And I've already seen a huge improvement in myself just from attending these workshops, and I love going to them. The hour flies by. There's per session, there's probably about 50 to 100 teachers that are on there that are watching, and it's all through video, of course, and it's exceptional. And just the questions, because a lot of people attending are new teachers, and you get such good answers and good feedback from the group on different strategies, and it's exceptional. So that's basically what it is. You can get into this for, I say, under $100. So for me, for example, I needed the headset. You have to have one of those. You need some sort of a background. It can be as elaborate or as basic as you want. You need to get some props. So I just go to the dollar store and I get a bunch of different things. Like, you need things to show as you're teaching. It's just when you're teaching a new language, you don't understand unless you're actually able to show things and demonstrate things through your actions. I also purchased some video software just so that I could, again, it's not very professional, but I need something because you need to make a short video for Chinese parents that they're going to look to see whether they want to hire you or have try a 25-minute class with you. So that's basically what VIPKID is in a very, very nutshell. Hours of work. Now, hours of work are very interesting. I'm from Prince Edward Island, Canada, so I'm in the Atlantic time zone. I have a 12-hour difference between here and Beijing, and that's where it becomes interesting. I'm actually at an advantage here compared to, let's say, someone out in Vancouver. They've got a 16-hour difference, which I'll give him my example. You might as well be working night shifts. If you're going to be working out in Vancouver and trying to do this, you might as well just be working night shifts. And the reason why I say that is because here are the peak times of work to get work from students or from parents. Friday evening is big because that's their Saturday morning for me. I mean, if you live in Ontario or Quebec or whatever, it's just an hour more, so it's 13 hours instead of 12. Friday evening is big. So Friday evening, I'm going to be talking my time, not Beijing time, but my time here in Atlantic. Friday evening is big, Saturday morning is big, Saturday evening is big, and Sunday morning is also a big time because that coincides with sort of their Friday night to Sunday night. Other times during the week that are big are, for me, weekday mornings from 5 a.m. until 9 a.m. Now, potentially, I taught one class this morning at 4 a.m. That was interesting, but anytime basically they're after school. So my 4 a.m., for example, is right after their school. So, but the peak time after school for them, for their time, would be in sort of that 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. slot. So that works out to 6 to 9 a.m. my time, being 12 hours difference. So those are the times you need to, if you're going to try this, you need to be available in some of those times. Now they stipulate you can work as little or as much as you want. There's no, it's not like you have to work a certain amount of time. You put your availability in, and you sort of see what happens with that. And I'll talk to you just a little bit more down the line about availability and stuff like that. Next thing I'll get into is being male. So now I say this because it's something I didn't think of going into it, but being male is actually, you have an advantage, and there's nothing sexist about it. It's just the reality that I go on to these seminars and I look, you can sort of see all the names and the pictures and stuff, and there might be 100 people that are on the workshops, and I don't know if I've ever counted any more than 5, maybe 10. I mean, I haven't seen it, but 5 to 10 males out of 100 that are there. So it's pretty much all women, which is normal for, this is geared towards maybe, and again, I don't want this to sound sexist, but it's just the reality of what I've observed towards, stay-at-home moms that want to stay home, and that's really what it's geared towards. So the males are far and few between. So being male definitely helps you stand out, and it's just for the simple fact that there is not very many of us out there that are teaching. I would definitely say less than 10%. VIPKID has said that there's over 100,000 teachers in North America, so I would say less than 10,000, 10% are male. So it's one of those things where it does help you stand out, and I'll talk to that a little bit later on with it. So being male, a little bit easier. Being female, personally, female, and if I didn't have a teaching certificate, it would be very difficult to stand out. It's not to say you couldn't do a great job and that you couldn't get a full schedule, but it would just be an added challenge to overcome. That's all. It's possible, but that's just to be aware of type thing. So next thing I'll get into is pay, and I'll get a chart out for this just to show. Here's how their pay structure works, and all of this is in US dollars. So they offer $8 per class, so that is per 25-minute class. It's 25 minutes. 25 to 28 minutes is what they say you should teach for. And they give you all the slides. I mean, you need to prepare and make sure you understand how you're going to teach it and all of that. But it's for the class. You have to give feedback after the class, so that can take a little bit of time too. You have to give feedback to the student. I say, like right now, what I'm doing, I'm spending about a half an hour of prep. I'm doing half an hour of the class roughly, and I'm doing another half an hour of feedback. That's what I'm doing now. Now it'll get better as I get going, but I'm still like a month in here, and I'm learning and I'm soaking it all up, and it's taking longer, but that's just where I'm at, how long it's taking. You get $1 per class for each one that you finish on time. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be right on 25 minutes or 28. Like I taught 31 minutes today. You need to have been through the class. You didn't just leave halfway through or whatever. So it's basically a slam dunk. You get $1 per class for every class. If you teach 45 or more in a given month, then you get an extra $1 for each of those classes. So they're basically encouraging regular teachers because they're going to be better teachers if you're teaching more frequently. So if you teach 45 or greater than 45 classes for that month, you get $1 extra for each class that you've taught. So, and it's a huge incentive to teach a lot. They also give an incentive, so if you can't make 45, they give 50 cents if you teach over 30 for that month. So again, it's an incentive to be a regular teacher. They have what's called trial students. Trial students are people, kids that are just giving it a go. So their salespeople have approached them and they've said, yeah, we think it might be something that, little Bao Bao might like. Bao Bao is basically another word for kid. So if you're able to convert that, like, it's just sort of luck of the draw. The salespeople will plunk trial students into your schedule. And if you're able to convert that trial to a paying regular student, then they give you a $5 extra above all this for that trial student. Right now I'm running at 20% of my classes might be trial students, and again, if you do a good job teaching, then you'll hopefully convert that student over. You also get $100 if you refer someone on and they come onto the platform and start teaching. So $100 for getting someone to join, and again, you sort of walk them through the process. So they're basically giving you money to help walk this person through the process to get hired, start up, and get going type thing, get into the system. One other thing that I don't have on the board here, but that they also offer, is they offer a $2 incentive if you teach someone that is booked within 24 hours. So you can leave your schedule open for that, or just say, no, I don't want any of those, but I leave my schedule open. So if someone books within 24 hours, I just get an added $2 US per class that I do that. So it's just an incentive to take on sort of people that want something quickly. So they can book that within 24 to 1 hour. 1 hour is the cutoff. Anything within an hour, they won't allow anyone to book, just because the teacher needs time to prep and see their schedule and stuff like that. So that's a long one. That's on pay structure. Last one I'll go into is standing out. And now with standing out, I'll sort of come back to my other points, a little bit of being male. And again, that's just the reality of this platform, that there's fewer males that are there. So that helps me stand out for no other reason than just being male. The bio, you're going to do your own little bio on, who you are, your experience, your likes, all that type of stuff. Hugely important, because that's what they read. It translates over into Mandarin, and that's hugely important to stand out, because the parents will read that and they'll say, do I want little Bao Bao in that class or that person? You also provide 3 pictures. So one sort of your feature photo, and then 2 other ones that are sort of your lifestyle photos. As well as, like I mentioned before, you need to do a video. So the video is only they encourage about 30 seconds to a minute. It's not very long, but it's just sort of a creative way to, again, get you to stand out. So for example, what I did in my video was I said, well, what is unique about where I live, where I'm at, who I am? And what I came up with is Prince Edward Island, Anne of Green Gables. I know it's popular over in China, so they might know what I'm referring to, and just say it's home of Anne of Green Gables. And I went out and got a snowball, and I said, well, they probably don't see a whole lot of snow there, so I sort of incorporated that into my video, and boom, that was my video. So just something that hopefully makes you stand out. Other things are just technical stuff, like headset. You need to be able to hear you. I need to go get an external webcam, because the one here is not good enough right now. I need to get something a little more with just a little more high resolution type thing. Your background, again, will help you stand out, and again, mine's a work in progress, but just one of those things where this is your classroom, so this is what they see, and that comes into it as well. So first impressions type thing when they look and see your video. And the last thing would be consistent schedule. So they want regular classes. So a lot of these teachers that I've seen, they've got regular students and they book the same time every week. So they want you to have, if you're only available for maybe a couple hours on Fridays and Saturdays, well, you keep that consistent each week, and they're more likely to book you because they see, okay, I can book little Bao Bao this time every week. And that's a big part in getting hired by the parents, because the parents are making the decision. Salespeople, like I mentioned, will book some trial classes for you, but that doesn't amount to a whole lot. It's really getting noticed, doing a good job in the areas that I've mentioned, and that's it in a nutshell. There's a lot more, but that's sort of a basic for someone that's looking to teach, whether you're Canadian, US, whatever. I find, especially if you're on the East Coast, whether that's Ontario or Quebec or in the States on the East Coast, in that time zone, it just makes it a lot easier. Because like I mentioned before, I had a class at 4. So if you're in Ontario, for example, and now that is 3 o'clock, that may not be doable for you. And it's not to say you have to open that slot up. You don't. It's just you want to get yourself a big enough window to sort of, what I say is, cast your net out wide and see if you can catch some fish. Because if you're looking to get hired and you just have this small 1-hour window a week, well, it's going to be difficult to get that filled. You sort of need to cast out wide, get some students, get them in, get them liking you, do a great job, and then they're more likely to book with you next week. And maybe then you can shrink your schedule down to sort of what you want to work, and they love you so much they'll accommodate their schedule to make it work. So that's it. I'll leave my email down below as if you have any questions, and my referral code too, if I can be your mentor or help you along. But it's a lot of work. I'm not sugarcoating this at all. It's a lot of work. You need to be, I guess if you're looking to do this part-time, you can make it as big or as small as you want. There's not a whole lot of upfront costs into it, like I mentioned, but you need to do a good job. You need to do excellent. You need to stand out, and by doing that, you got to put the work in. There's no shortcuts around it. There's no sugarcoating it. There's getting up early in the morning, working hard and doing a good job. So I'll leave that with you. My referral code, my email will be below, and best of luck. Bye.